In the previous video, Saitama 1 punched Carnage Kabuto into bits. Then Genos tells Saitama that there are still 4 hours left for the supermarket sale and they leave. After that incident, a group of communists led by their leader, Hammerhead, tries to rile up people to join them. Failing to get any support, they march to destroy a building of a rich businessman, Zeniru. One of his troops uses his bodysuit to demolish a building with one punch. However, the building turns out to be the wrong one. Their boss forgives his mistakes and marches to Zeniru's building. Saitama hears the news about the terrorist group going around the town and destroying buildings. But he isn't excited about handling some small fries. However, his interest peaks when he finds out that the terrorist group members are all bald like Saitama. Saitama dresses up to teach them a lesson because being bald is his style. Meanwhile, the military is having a hard time containing the terrorist group. As things take a turn for the worst, a brave C-rank hero, Mumen Rider, comes in and tries to stop the 20 men. Turns out Mumen Rider isn't the smartest. Zeniru starts panicking, knowing the Paradisers are coming to get him. But his bodyguard Sonic tells him to rest easy and instead worry about where to put the 20 dead bodies he's about to bring. Sonic ambushes the Paradisers. The Paradisers attack, but Sonic is too fast for them. He cuts off their heads like taking heads off dolls. In fear and panic, Hammerhead blocks his head from getting sliced off too. He goes on a fence and throws boulders at Sonic until he's trapped. Hammerhead then goes for the finishing blow by throwing a larger boulder on a trapped Sonic, but Sonic is way too fast, so Hammerhead has to adjust. He blocks him with a tree. However, Sonic is already behind him and throws a kunai at him. Thanks to his thick skull, Hammerhead escapes with his life while Sonic is making a call to his boss about the mission. Hammerhead stumbles across Saitama and asks him if he's here to join the Paradisers. Saitama tells him he's a hero and he's here to teach him a lesson. Hammerhead unleashes his full power and attacks Saitama, but he blocks him easily and destroys his suit. Saitama spares the naked bald man and he escapes with his life again. After that, Sonic finds Saitama and attacks him, but Saitama blocks both of his attacks. Saitama tells him that he's not with Paradisers and he's only a hero. Sonic tells him that he never heard about him. Sonic plans to kill him since he blocked his attacks, thus hurting his ego. He uses his supersonic speed to jump around. He finally attacks Saitama, but Saitama dodges him. Saitama unintentionally cracks his nuts. After having his nuts cracked, Sonic promises to face off Saitama once again after he completes his training. Back home, Saitama tells Genos about Sonic and tells Genos to go home because he's facing a major problem. The concern of not being recognized by anyone despite Saitama saving people for 3 years haunts him. Genos sees in the news that Mumen Rider took all the credit for defeating the Paradisers. He asks Saitama if he's registered as a hero. Turns out both of them are unregistered. They plan on getting themselves registered in the hero organization, and Genos tells Saitama to take him as a disciple afterward. The hero organization is holding its 55th hero examination. There are more than 11,000 candidates to choose from, but the quality of heroes has steadily been declining over the years. However, this year, the organization has its eyes on Genos. Along with Saitama, a lot of candidates have gathered for the examination. Saitama crushes every physical test, leaving the contestants spaceless. Many candidates leave after seeing how outmatched they are. Saitama and Genos meet up and share how easy the exams were. They get their results a while later and Genos gets 100 out of 100 and is assigned to S-class. Saitama mistakes his grade to be an S2. The corporation took an interview with Genos and found out he was the one responsible for destroying the House of Evolution, so they decided to put him in a rank. Saitama finds out about his mistake. He has been placed in C-class instead of S-class because of his horrible score in essay. They get invited into a hero seminar, and a rank hero named Snek teaches them the importance to behave in front of people since they have become the face of the industry. He orders them to follow his examples, but Saitama and Genos pay no attention to it. While returning from the seminar, Genos reminds Saitama that he is now officially his disciple and he's looking forward to training with him. Meanwhile, Snek tells how the new candidate has no respect for him, but the organization already acknowledges both Genos and Saitama's incredible strengths. The organizer tells Snek that he might already be outclassed by both Genos and Saitama. While going home, Saitama gets ambushed by Snek. He plans to crush Saitama, but things don't go how he planned. The next day, Genos explains how he and Saitama are ranked in S and C classes, respectively. If they want to get hero names or rank up, they must do something heroic. Saitama worries if he'll be called Capped Baldy. They start their training. Genos has gotten new gear and wishes to go all out. He launches the first series of attacks. An astonishing display of explosive power and speed, yet he fails to land a hit on Saitama. He uses all his arsenal to match the speed of Saitama, yet he fails. Saitama dodges and appears behind him and touches him to win the battle. But Genos requests him not to hold back and attack him even if it may hurt him. Saitama attacks and Genos tries to kick him. He appears behind Genos and for a split second Genos sees death. Saitama holds his punch and tells the boy he's starving. As Genos turns back, he realizes how outmatched he is. After training, the guys go have some udon. Saitama challenges Genos to eat spicy udon. Genos destroys Saitama at the competition. After that, number 1 rank a hero Amai Mask walks in and asks to talk to Genos. Saitama warns Genos that Amai Mask might be a rookie crusher. However, Amai Mask just came to welcome Genos to the organization. Girls come flocking knowing Genos is friends with Amai. It's been 5 days since they registered as heroes, and since then, Genos has been staying and surveying Saitama. Saitama tries to think of a way to help him with training because he feels like he has done nothing. Genos reminds him that C-rank heroes must do heroic acts regularly or they will be unregistered. Saitama gets up in a panic, and while leaving, he makes up something to help Genos. He tells him to train his mind instead of his body. He runs around the whole town trying to find a bad guy. Saitama starts panicking the next day when he realizes there's no bad guy around. He gets attacked by Sonic again, but Saitama leaves him because he's too busy trying to find a bad guy. Sonic attacks with his sword, but Saitama breaks it to bits. Saitama warns Sonic not to bother him. A girl brings a hero with her and tells him to get Saitama because he's been running around the entire town like a creep. Saitama explains to the Tank Top Man how he's also a hero, and he's only trying to find criminals. Tank Top Man plans to make a show out of Saitama, but gets knocked unconscious by Sonic's bombs. Sonic starts blasting the town and Saitama tells him to stop clowning around. He saves a kid about to be crushed by a car and realizes Sonic is the bad guy. Sad Ama chops Sonic unconscious. Meanwhile, in the association, a situation is developing in City Z. Tatsumaki wants to take on a mission forcefully, but they tell her it's not an S-rank matter. The organization holds a meeting about how they have been failing to prevent major disasters in major cities. They have also noticed how some calamities like the Colossal Giant and Hammerhead have been resolved without them intervening. To prevent further screw-ups, they have sent a rank heroes to City Z. City Z, also known as a ghost town, is abandoned because it frequently gets attacked by monsters. Golden Ball and Spring Mustachio survey the town. Suddenly, they sense someone lurking around. They track down the monster and Golden Ball attacks it. However, his attack does nothing against the seaweed monster. The monster drags the Golden Ball and slams him unconscious. Mustachio gets into an intense fight against the monster. His special attack barely manages to touch the monster. Realizing he's unmatched, Mustachio requests backup. Mustachio fights till he can stand no more. As the monsters are about to leave City Z to find new victims, he sees Saitama. Seeing the monster, Saitama suddenly remembers he forgot to buy seaweed. It's free seaweed for Saitama, I guess. Genos tells Saitama that seaweed is good for hair growth. Meanwhile, the Hero Association recovered the injured A-rank heroes, however they are unable to find the monster. They think the monster ran off somewhere. At the incident site, there's a building completely destroyed. The heroes speculate the monster did it. Rumors about a monster residing in City Z terrify both monsters and humans. That's all for today. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Until then, take care.